I'm from Camden Park Station, Longreach in central western Queensland. We farm organically. We do beef cattle, sheep and other sort of business activities out here on the farm. We're a very slightly undulating country type. It's got magical sunsets, very open Mitchell grass downs. Traditionally this was a stud depot, so we had Santa Gertrude stud cattle. The grazing style has been just set stocking, breeding. While I've been here, we've transitioned into trading and rotationally stocking. We fence off our creek systems with secure exclusion fences. So we've got a lot of control on our grazing pressure. I've been out in central west Queensland managing and running properties. It's our property now, Camden Park, for about sort of 20 years. In that time, I've done a lot of study and a lot of research and challenged different business models out here to try and stay afloat in what is a very semi-arid and highly variable rainfall climate. One year we had 42 inches of rain, next year we had 3 inches, so you try and stack up a production system that's quite difficult. Over the 20 years I've been here, we've had to destock 4 times, so this current drought is not new to us. When you have to destock, you have to unload everything, whether they go on agistment, whether you lease another place. So looking at those models, I sort of challenged, is that the right way of approaching it? And what we ended up coming up with was a periodic business model, whereby before there's no grass and biomass available, we'll actually alternate our business so that we don't have to put pressure on the land. The better we can preserve the grasses that are there and grow them when it does rain and we do get above average rainfall, we're quick back to production. My approach is to have a look at the land, assess it, have a look at the environmental systems and then apply the business model. Not take a business model and apply it to the land. It's actually listening and making sure that your business model will support the resilience of that land you're on. When we sort of went at trying to create a conversation on drought policy, the only way we could do that was to get people that are regarded high in industry and government to come in and have a look at the problem. The actual initiative exploded. We had CEOs fly out from all around Australia, and from that it sort of grew into partnering and working with universities, government, but also corporates and big advisory firms to try and pull together solutions, trying to solve these systemic problems in agriculture pragmatically with that collaboration. We started to diversify and look at other areas. We put a large-scale solar farm on, so it's an 18 megawatt solar farm, 52,000 panels. We've also got agri-tourism here as well. We have about 3,000 to 4,000 people through a year. We've partnered with a large corporate to allow us to breathe in and breathe out with our biomass, so we can bring stock in on demand and we can unstock the property on demand as well. So they've got upwards of 80,000 head of cattle and we say we've got this amount of land available, we've got this biomass, so we'll place the cattle there and then once that biomass is taken then we can take them off. We've called that the floating lease with a quarterly retainer. That's allowed us to take pressure off the country and let it do its natural course in terms of generating pastures. We've got satellite maps taking photos every day of our pasture biomass. We've got water monitoring, which is telemetry, and we've also got our farm off the grid now, so we've got battery and solar supporting energy use. The way we're approaching it is to fuse or pull together the production metrics, the financial metrics, and then overlaying the environmental metrics on that so that we can have a holistic view of our performance. The action for us is digitisation. The impact I want to have there is to have metrics available, for the farmers so that they're not without solutions, they're not without ideas, they're not without new opportunities. Where Landcare could play a vital role in the future is supporting business models, just not activities. So we need to have the financial backing for those activities that we're doing on ground to make sure that we're resilient and we're sustainable. Otherwise, it isn't sustainable. Those farms that are undertaking activities that aren't financially rewarding, won't be there for very long. What drives me is the weight of every farmer. I think people forget that it's not a business, it's a legacy. So as a farming family, we want to ensure there's a good legacy there. When we do have downturns in commodity prices, when we do have downturns in prices, when the interest rates go high, we can create resilience and sustainable systems so that the farmers can remain, because they're the best custodians of land. I think our family's had a bit of a history of service to the community. I think that sort of drives me a fair bit to actually create support for that agricultural community and also drive its performance. When I reflect out here, it's that romantic notion of we are producing, we are looking and caring for the land, but we're also raising that next generation to have that affinity and empathy for the country, but also just loving the challenges of it.